Hello and welcome back to another episode of Dugout Debrief. My name is Jack Burke, and today I'm going to be recapping Game 1 of the weekend series between the Texas Rangers and San Diego Padres, where fortunately enough, I was able to attend this game as well. Thought it'd be fitting to give my expert analysis on what happens in the contents of this game, and it was a pretty wild one to say the least. All right, so jumping right in, we have the pitching matchup of Jacob DeGrom versus Randy Vasquez. Heading into this, I was fully expecting it to be just a kind of a pitching duel, and the offenses to be at the mercy of these two pitchers that have been pretty good this season. DeGrom on the better side of that, but Vasquez's numbers on the road have been phenomenal. Kind of lingering right around a 2 ERA on the road this season in road starts, and then his strikeouts per nine and walks per nine ratios both better than his season averages. So heading into this, I thought we'd be seeing more of a pitching duel and something that would kind of be a quicker of a game, but that was not the case here. It was Jacob DeGrom's birthday and bobblehead night, and the Padres kind of come out and just slam that right in his face. First inning here, we had a Tatis walk and a small Taylor hit, which then was followed by a Gavin Sheets a single to drive in Tatis, so got off to an early 1-0 lead, and then after Xander Bogaerts' walk, Ty France goes yard, driving in four for a grand slam to then open up the score into being 5-0. And to say there was a lot of energy and buzz in the stadium heading into that first inning with Jacob DeGrom on his birthday, bobblehead night, everything, there's a lot of buzz kind of heading to that first half inning, and then it just fell off the wagon. I mean, the energy was just not there. But then you get a little hit from Josh Young. You get, or I think he might have walked in this first inning. But bottom line, Brandon Nimmo ends up driving in a run on his double, which kind of brings the energy back. A lot of timely hitting from Osuna and Jake Berger, and the Rangers just essentially Uno reverse card, dropped 6 runs on Randy Vasquez in the first inning as well. So having the 11 total runs scored between the two teams in the first inning was not what I was expected going into the game. I think the over/under for this game was at 7.5, and I don't know. I'm not. If I was a betting man, I'd be taking that under just solely based on the stats heading into this game. But fortunately for the fans, but unfortunately for Jacob DeGrom, they didn't go that way for him. And Randy Vasquez also on the short end of that stick. But as the game went on, we were able to see Jacob DeGrom kind of settle in. He's able to strike out 9. He does give up one more home run to Ty France. And looking up Ty France's career stats against Jacob DeGrom, I was just curious to see what those kind of looked like. But I think this is his first time matching up against Jacob DeGrom, which is kind of mind-blowing to me. Baseball Reference is not failing me. This was his one and only game. He might have had an at-bat before that. I think he had 6 plate appearances, but he ends up going 3 for 4 in this game, 2 home runs and a double, driving in 5 and scoring twice. I mean, what a game for Ty France. He was really one of the only guys driving in runs. Obviously, Gavin Sheets had a 2 RBI night, but he was the main contributor on that side of the ball. Vasquez, though, on the other hand, he was kind of in the same boat. He wasn't really able to settle in. I think that's after that second inning, DeGrom really showed that he was out there to kind of turn around this start and make it a lot better or make something out of a start that kind of was tormented in the first inning. But Vasquez he got hit with a line drive off the leg, and he started to walk some guys. I think this was just not his go at it. Obviously an outlier in the stat column for his away games on the road stats up to this year, but I think he's going to be just fine. But Padres offense needs more production. Jackson Merrill goes 0 for 5. Manny Machado goes 0 for 5. In the bottom half of their lineup really had no production besides Will Wagner, who ended up having 2 hits, but in a point where he's not scoring any runs, he's not driving in any runs. What is that really doing when you don't have those guys front loaded at the top getting on base? So tough go for the Padres offense up to this point. But the Rangers really needed this game one. This last series against the Twins, getting swept at home was not ideal. And so moving forward into this series, and if they're able to offensively get things going again, that's definitely a point. I'm kind of been like thinking about this Rangers team, just like being scared of being above 500. It's been a storyline all year. The Mariners are, I think they're atop the AL West right now at an even 500 record. Obviously, the Athletics are there, but go out and get it. Somebody. Wyatt Langford coming back is a big help. He's been tearing it up at the plate since coming back. He goes 3 for 5 in this game. He's a triple shy of a cycle. He's been mashing baseballs. He had a crazy home run on one of these last games against the Twins. It was like a 111 mile an hour ball off the bat at like a 21-degree launch angle, which is essentially just a line drive, and it ends up leaving the yard. But he's been phenomenal coming back for them, and they really need that. They need Corey Seager to come back and start producing again. That kind of scary collision at home plate against the Royals, giving him a concussion. But I think he'll be back soon. And Josh Young's just been a staple in this lineup as well. He ends up scoring 3 times in this game, just getting on base at a high rate, and continuing to just pepper balls to the outfield. He's got a really, really nice swing and plays a pretty decent enough brand of defense at third base. Brandon Nimmo drives in a run on 2 doubles today. Nice to see him get back out there. He had a nice little series a couple series ago. So yeah, I was kind of sitting in this game, just like thinking about how this Rangers team can kind of get back in the AL West, and it really starts with the offense. The rotation is, we've talked about the rotation all year. I'm thinking back to, Kumar Rocker, Jack Leiter, Mackenzie Gore's pitching in game 2, Jacob deGrom. Obviously, you got some names there, but if you can't hit the ball, you're not going to be able to produce down the road. And we kind of see that with the Padres team. They started off really hot, and their offense wasn't producing in those few games that they were ahead of the NL West and really competing for that title with the Dodgers. But now they've kind of fallen off and are tied for that wild card spot. But it's because the rotation has started to dwindle a little bit, and their offense is still not producing at a rate that they need it to. So I think moving forward, I'm hoping that this Rangers team can get back in the mix. But this series is really a turning point for them, and I don't know. I really enjoy going to the games, and to have a team in the mix again would be really fun to make the games a little bit more enjoyable for sure, and competitive, and the energy, because there's a ton of people. I mean, this was a sold-out game on a Friday, even after a series sweep, like a midweek series sweep against the Twins. Some of these fans still able to show up and fight for their team, even though they've been having a little bit of a struggle bus lately. So, later in this game, I was actually able to capture a video of Ezekiel Duran, who has been kind of on the slower side recently. After a pretty good month of May and start to June, I was able to capture an RBI single of his, and I'd like to show that right here. But yeah, you can really see the clear output of fans that are there, and the energy's there. I don't know. I think this team, this squad. Obviously, they had that run in 2023, but this fan base deserves some more pop from this team, and getting these guys back is definitely going to be an important part of that. But I think this is step number 1, taking game 1 and taking this series from the Padres to get back into where they need to be. One thing that I kind of brushed over earlier, but I did want to talk about, was Samad Taylor. Since being called up, he had a few stints with the Royals and the Mariners, but now he was down in AAA for a while in the first half of this season. Now has been called up for the month of June, and safe to say that Padres fans really like him. Browsing through Twitter and just seeing the overall production he's had at the plate and in the field, I think he's going to be hopefully up to stay for a while. He has another 3-hit night, and it's cool to see guys get a second chance. after not really producing at the rate that they kind of were hoping for earlier in their career. He's only 27, so if you can kind of get things rolling up to this point for this Padres team, who are really struggling offensively, they got rid of Nick Castellanos at the start of this month and are getting great production from Samad Taylor. So if I'm a Padres fan, I'd be happy. He's been really fun add to this June team that really you weren't really expecting this name to be up at this point, and thinking about him in the future. But need more production from Jackson Merrill. I mean, he'd kind of turned things around earlier in this month, and he's been getting a little bit better. I think there's still some lingering injuries, possibly. He had, but that great a year or two ago. Just need him to get back in the swing of things. And obviously, Manny Machado is Manny Machado. He's got some things to say, and he may or may not be able to back it up on the field as of right now. But we can't, blind us from the fact of how great of a talent he really was, especially in the field. I mean, this guy was unreal in the field. It's just like thinking back to him way like 20 feet behind third base, down the line, backhand, checks the logo on the baseball, and throws out Albert Pujols. Like that Manny Machado is a Manny Machado that we need to remember, and we shouldn't remember him talking about analytics and talking about swing coaches and complaining in the media. I think we need to remember him for those good times. So this was the game of the Jacobs for the Rangers. They had Jacob Junis and Jacob Latz follow DeGrom out of the pen after his 6-inning effort. They prohibit the Padres from really getting back into the game. They score one more, but going 3 innings pitched after the fact, they've been pretty decent. The bullpen hasn't really been too bad for the Rangers. I think there's been times where the rotation will kind of keep these Rangers out of the game, and with that lack of production offensively, sometimes you just don't see the bullpen really needing to get put in those positions. And, as a Rockies fan, I've seen the bullpen really struggle over the last month or so, and so it's not an easy like watch to see the bullpen struggle. But to have some strong guys in the bullpen that you can kind of trust is really important, and that's why I think this Rangers team can still get back to where they should be. Other than that, Rangers closed it out, winning 9-7. Big game one. Moving into game two, we've got Mackenzie Gore versus Walker Buehler. Mackenzie Gore has really not had that great of a start to his. We're almost nearly out of June, but he has not had a great June. He's been kind of bouncing around all season between. We've even seen like high 2s in the ERA all the way up to low 5s at different points of the season. Need him to bounce back after maybe just to get right after this big offensive production game from both teams. Even the Padres had a great offensive day, so if he's able to bounce back and get things going, very promising. But then Walker Buehler on the other side of the ball, he's had a better month of June compared to the rest. He's given up only 3 earned runs in the month of June, 1 in each of his starts. But he's not going to give you a ton of innings production-wise. He need him to get a little bit more healthy, I think. He's lingering right around a 4 ERA right now. If he had more positions where he could throw longer, there's just times where his pitch count is so high. It's like the 3rd inning, and he's already at like 70 pitches. So he was so fun on the Dodgers back in the day, and after seeing him bounce around the league a little bit, want to see him kind of settle down a little bit and get back to where he was production-wise. We just seen Dustin May kind of settle in with the Cardinals. He had a crazy. I mean, he almost had a no-hitter against the Brewers, and now he goes complete game shutout. So maybe that's something that Walker Buehler could kind of look forward to, like kind of mirror in his game as well. But who knows? This game 2 is going to be definitely a deciding factor. I think obviously the Padres will be favored in this game, but if the Rangers produce like they did in game 1 offensively, then who knows what could happen. And that's going to be the main talking point for game 2. Other than that, that's going to be it for this episode of Dugout Debrief. If you'd like to see anything like this in the future, I was originally planning on doing a series preview to the Braves Brewers series that started on Friday, but I didn't get a chance to do enough research for the way I wanted to attack that episode, and that episode that series deserves a lot of attention just because of the way that the Braves have been kind of sliding and the Brewers are really heating up. So I would like to do more videos like that in the future as well, because the recaps are obviously an important one, but being able to preview series as well and kind of make some predictions is also a really fun kind of talking point for the future. So if you have any questions or feedback, please let me know down below. Please like and subscribe. It really does help support the channel. And have a great one. Thank you for listening.